Hallo Leute, willkommen zur Folge von Doki Doki Blue Skies. Letzte Folge haben wir mit dem Festival angefangen halt und haben auch unsere Gedichte vorgetragen. Jeder hat halt so ein einzelnes Gedicht vorgetragen. Oh Gott, ich kann das nicht richtig sprechen. Und wie ihr seht, ist das nicht so gut ausgegangen, denn die Leute waren Arschlöcher und haben einfach alles liegen gelassen, Dreck gemacht, Chaos. Und ja, jetzt sehen wir mal, wie es ausgeht halt. Also wer genaueres will wissen, was letzte Folge los war, checkt die einfach aus, ist wie so eine Verschreibung verlinkt, die letzte Folge. Und ja, dann legen wir mal los, ne? To say there's tension in the air would be a massive understatement. There's silence in the room, made worse by the sense of awkwardness. No one knows what to say. No one expected the festival to end this way, and the impact is hitting us all. So that could have gone better. My attempt at humor falls flat and I immediately regret speaking. That gives me a dirty look, but Siri smiles mainly. Meanwhile, it looks like Monica's face has finally fallen. I don't understand. Why didn't we go wrong, guys? We spent so long preparing for this and after all our efforts. For the first time I had that ongoing confidence Monica always seemed to her early days had snuffed out. She clearly cared a lot about this event and I feel awful for her. I know I don't get it either. I thought you guys all did such a good job as well. The decorations, the recitals. I'm sorry, Monica. Oh, don't worry about it, Kazuma. It's not like it's your fault anyway. She smiled weakly at me. Glancing out, I noticed that Yuri and Natsuki seemed practically upset, with Yuri looking absolutely dejected and Natsuki steaming mad. This is your fault, Monica. I told you this was a stupid idea. None of us were even that comfortable with doing it in the first place. And look where it's landed us. Excuse me? My fault? You all agreed to do this. Pardon me for thinking it would be actually go well. What's so wrong about that? We only agreed to do it because we felt like you were forcing us. I was really hoping it wouldn't happen, given everyone's low moods and argument is the last thing we need. Ich glaube, es ist auch vielleicht was kurz die Musik. So. Oder sind es meine Kopfhörer, die ich leise habe vielleicht? Ne, okay. Einfach die Musik ist leise, okay. I didn't force anyone, Natsuki. You know how much this club means to me. I was just excited to show what we have to the rest of the school. Yeah, because that was such a good idea, wasn't it? I'm really starting to get sick of your constant sarcasm, you know? Why can't you just try being positive for once in your life? Gee, it's funny you should say that, because I'm really starting to get sick of your self-righteous know-it-all attitude. He told you this was a bad idea, but no! You just had to insist on this, even though no one was happy with it. It was for the reason. Look at how much Kazuma enjoys it here. Is it really so unreasonable to think we could find something else like him? Or is it just too positive for you to even fathom? This is awful. The other students were bad enough, but now Monica and Natsuki are going for each other's throats. Look at how badly everyone's humiliated. How inconsiderate all of those. She struggled for a moment, her anger inhibiting her ability to speak. Those assholes were! To all of us! They didn't give a damn about anything we had to say. What did that one prick say? He was only here for the food? All of that hard work, just for what? Nothing! She angrily kicks one of the desks. The loud noise jolts Yuri, who looks up with tears in her eyes. Please, Natsuki, can you calm down? Don't tell me you're taking her side, Yuri. You had to experience the worst of it. I don't get why you're not mad either. Natsuki, that's no point in being angry at Monica. She didn't want this to happen. She had no idea people would react this way. It's bad enough that the students were rude, and I really don't like fighting inside the club itself. Yeah, but if Monica just listened to us when we said we were comfortable with the whole idea, this would never have happened. Monica sighs. This is the kind of conflict she generally leaves Sawyer to deal with. But in this case, Sawyer looks too distraught to intervene. Look, what you're not understanding is that sometimes you just have to take risks. Sure, this didn't go so well, but there was always a chance it wouldn't have ended like this, and we could have had new members. She turns to me. I mean, you of all people can understand the best, right, Kazuma? You made the choice to come here. Look how much you enjoyed it. Oh, don't you try and suck it up to him, Monica. Face it, you never listen to us, you club members, or take our opinions into account. Time you're not alone in thinking it in that, Kazuma. Oh great, now I have to choose a side? I really don't want to do this. I desperately look at Yuri and Sayori, but both look too upset to want to get involved. So I guess it's gonna be... Das ist verdammt scheiße. Weil ich stimme Monika zu. Das war absolut natürlich nicht ihre Absicht, dass es so endet. Sie wollte wirklich einfach eine neue Club-Member und einfach Dings, dass es dem Club halt besser wird und dass wir neue Members halt bekommen. Absolut verständlich. Währenddessen auch Netski halt, aber auch verständlich, sie ist natürlich übelst wütend, weil einerseits sind seine Freunde halt richtig wie Scheiße behandelt worden von diesen Mitmenschen. Und Monika hat leider das Fest gemacht, also diese Vorbereitung und alles so für das Festival, obwohl die meisten nicht dafür waren. Es war ja eigentlich gesplittet eigentlich. Und ja. Es ist halt eine verdammt schwere Entscheidung jetzt. Natürlich, es würde hier die mehr logische Variante sein, glaube ich, eher Monika zu nehmen. Aber ich hakle jetzt noch etwas mehr daran, weil ich mir natürlich die Natsuki-Route hole. Deswegen. Nee, es ist so bitter. Das ist halt das Ding. Soll ich jetzt halt der Natsuki-Route treu bleiben? Oder soll ich jetzt einfach das sozusagen das mehr logische halt nehmen? Das ist halt jetzt das Ding halt. Ich überlege mal kurz, ey. Also warte, wir haben halt einerseits Monikas Wille halt einfach, dass der Club wächst und alles so. Aber das hat halt gleichzeitig einfach die Meinungen der anderen, wenigstens der Hälfte des Clubs einfach ignoriert sozusagen halt. Ach komm, ich bleib der Natsuki-Route treu. I really do hate taking sides like this. Monica's the present though, so I hope she won't take this personally. Monica, believe me when I say that I know this club means a lot to you. I've only been here for a few days and I can really already see that. In fact, it means a lot to us. To all of us. Every one of us cares so much for the club that we were able to soldier on and keep performing despite all the crap we got. But at the same time, perhaps Netsuki is a point. You were clearly the most enthusiastic about this festival out of everyone here. She sighs, and it's clear that she's frustrated. It wouldn't surprise me if she was disappointed in us either. Well, pardon me for wanting to do the club to do well. Why was everyone so against it? It didn't even force any of you. You all agreed of your own accords. I thought you used the weekend to practice. That should have been plenty of time. The way you pushed into us, it felt like we didn't have a choice. You guys didn't have to agree. Do you not know how to stand up for yourselves? Monica, you know how it is. It's hard enough as having to go against your friends, but when your friend has such high expectations and everything on top of that, zumal für Yuri, das ist wahrscheinlich noch mehr belastend. It's just easy to get swept up in trying to keep everyone happy, and on top of that, not everyone here is as outspoken as you. Exactly! But that's not the point anyhow. Doch, grad schon. Weil sonst hätten wir ja für eine andere Sache gesucht, halt, was wir während dem Festival könnte machen, halt. Das ist schon wirklich ein wenig der Punkt. Natürlich ist es jetzt nicht der, ja, obwohl doch. You all did fine in your first presentations to a club meeting. Everyone should have gone well. Es ist ja auch eigentlich bei den meisten richtig ausgegangen. Es war einfach nur, wir sind halt unterbrochen worden die ganze Zeit, wie Dreck behandelt worden und alles so. Zumal Yuri einfach, tut mir nur leid einfach. It's just that we never could have expected that people would act this way. If the event had been a success, you can bet that this conversation would be happening right now. Ja, im Falle dessen, aber es ist ja gerade nicht der Fall. Es ist ja alles gerade schief gegangen, wirklich. Well, I've not decided to do anything for the festival, then we wouldn't have had to worry about this crap anyway. But we had to do something for the festival. Do you just want the club to remain stagnant forever? Is this place just supposed to be some hangout for 5 people? There's a fierce glint in those green eyes now, and I'm also afraid of speaking up. It seems like I'm the only one who actually wants this club to do well, the only one who strives to greater heights. And how is Ione ever going to see how amazing that we've built is if we never show it to anyone? What's wrong with the club being small? I'd rather have a few people who really care than a ton of idiots who are only here because of your popularity. Das ist auch wahr. Quality is more important than quantity after all. I'm sure that others would agree on that front as well. Sonic and Monica turns to me. I won't lie, it's scary having to see the full force of the normally cool-headed and diplomatic leader's temper. Kazuma, with all due respect, you haven't even been here for a week. How would you, of all people, know what the other members want? Oh nice, Yuri. Monica, Kazuma only means well. Zoe looks like she's about to say more, but one withering look from Monica stops her in her tracks. I'm sure that many villains throughout history only meant well too. Warte, hat das mal Netsuki gesagt? Nein, das ist... Okay, Monica hat's gesagt, okay. Now you're just being unfair. No, you know what's really unfair? What's unfair is that the fact that I'm the one who always has to pick the slack. I'm the one who has to take on the blame for all the mistakes. You think it's easy having to live up to everyone's expectations? But I guess it's too much for you to understand, Netsky. After all, you always heap the blame onto others and criticize everyone but yourself. Why don't you go do this some introspection for once in your life? Then you may be able to see why you barely have any friends. There's silence for a moment, a silence that lengthens into impossible long minutes. I look towards you in sorry for help, but both look understandably shocked by Monika's word. Netsky's face has gone red and it looks like she's starting to tear up despite her best attempts at keeping up a hostile look. Monika, on the other hand, has turned away so that I can't see her face. Yesir and I exchange a series of looks and expressions as the silence stretches out. There's a viable game of eyebrow charades going on between the three of us. None of us know what to say or how to break the silence, but we all know that someone has to. I believe that after the two of them to rely on here though, they have to experience the disaster that the festivals too. And yet they're still fighting through their own emotions to try to keep the club together. The only sounds right now are the small sniffling noises coming from Netsky. The longer the silence stretches, the harder it's going to break it. Somehow the three of us managed to silently decide that it should be me to speak up. But before I can so, we were surprised by Monika finally interrupting the silence with her side. I shouldn't have said that. I was looking back on what I said, and then, well, if someone had said those things about me, I'd be upset to say the least. The pressure just finally broke me, I guess. I really do have tons of things going on in my life. But that doesn't excuse my actions. I shouldn't have assumed that things about the lives when I have no idea what struggles you're going through either. I don't expect you to forgive me anytime soon, but just know that I'm sorry. Monika still turned away, but Sarah shoots me a hopeful look. I think it's safe to say that words were said that no one really intended. Tensions were obviously running higher after the disaster that the festival turned out to be, and I guess everything just boiled over in the argument. I agree, and it just goes over to show how much we all care about the club and each other. If we didn't care, we wouldn't be feeling so horrible. Monika, you're really good at organizing these kinds of things, so I can't really see why you wanted to see it the way you did. It's only normal. But you have to remember that we all choose to come here for a reason, and that's because we enjoy it here. We really do care. I'm sorry if it seems like we're blaming you for everything going wrong, but because it's definitely no one's fault. Entweder das ist keiner sein Fehler oder halt all deren Fehler. Das ist halt meistens ist das immer, habe ich immer Dings. Es gibt Situationen, da ist wirklich absolut nur einer schuld dran. Und dann gibt es die Situation, wo man kann entscheiden, okay, also die ganze Partei sozusagen, oder halt zwei Leute, wie auch immer halt, was die Situation ist halt schuld oder keiner ist halt schuld einfach. Das ist halt mein Ding halt. Monika starts to slowly turn back to face us. But you have to admit that you were kind of harsh to Netsky. She stops moving, causing Sarah to speed on her free speech. Anyway, I'm so glad you apologized to Netsky in the end, because we're all friends here, and we all need to stick together. We shouldn't be fighting when we hit obstacles, we should be supporting each other. Ja, zusammen durch die Mauer brechen halt und nicht sich anmaulen. So I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive her, Netsky, even though she said some really mean things to you. And hopefully we can move on from this and become closer than ever. I couldn't have said that better myself. Yes, I believe that the best thing you can do right now is try to forgive each other and learn from this experience. Monika faces us now, looking each of us in the eye. Netsky misses her gaze, still looking down the ground with her tear-streaked cheeks. You guys, thank you all for being the best club members I could wish for. Now that I've thought about it, it really is me who's in the wrong here. I should just accept it that you guys weren't quite as into the festival idea as I was. It was wrong of me to push you into something you weren't comfortable with. Well, that's all said and done now, so no use crying over spilled milk, right? No, a good president wouldn't have pressured the people into doing this. Looking back, how could I have been so savage and blind? Everybody has momentary lapses of judgment, and you shouldn't blame yourself for that. I'm with you, Yuri, on that. After all, you made this lovely club for all of us, and we really owe it to you for that. And Netsky, and Netsky, I'm truly sorry for what I said. I was just jumping to conclusions and making false assumptions. Plus, we're all your friends, although I wouldn't blame you if you don't want to call me a friend anymore. We all wait with bated breath for Netskys answer. Ich glaube, Netsky wird aber entgegenkommen. I exchanged nervous glances with you and Sayori, the latter of the two actually looking like she's holding her breath. Natsuki quickly wipes the tears off her face with her sleeves. She looks smaller than ever and so alone. Makes me want to protect her more than ever. Whatever, it's fine. The only thing I ask, she looks down to the floor, then to right, and then at the ceiling, is if she's hoping for the white words to appear in front of her. The only thing I want for us is to stop fighting. I come to this club to get away from all that junk. I don't want this things to be ruined. So yeah, if it'll make things go back to normal, I'll forgive you. So he gives a little hobby and excitement. Natsuki says that, and I can't help but sigh in relief as well. Monika smiles gently as Natsuki, who finally meets her eyes. Thank you for putting club above your feelings, Natsuki. Yeah, I don't think I'm wrong in saying that we all appreciate it. I guess you'd hug it out. I get that it must take you a lot to say that. I'm truly grateful for that. Monika reaches out to hug Natsuki, but the smaller girl flinches away. I'm sorry, I should have known that it'd be too soon. No, well, it's fine. Natsuki makes an attempt at smiling at Monika. It may take some time for reconsultation to be finished with, but I'm happy that everyone is trying their best. Yeah, reconsultation can take a long time. No, that's not quite right. Well, close enough. And if that the spell holding us all in place seems to have been broken. Any of you staying to check out the rest of the festival? No, I'm feeling quite exhausted after all the emotional stress we've just had to endure. Oi. Me too. All I want to do right now is take a long nap. Same here, honestly. We still have to clean up the classroom though. We all going to return to face the mess that the visitors have left behind. I'm really not looking forward to cleaning that up. Oh, do we have to? So you don't want to pay a club advisor's trust now, do you? Oh, why are you always right, Yui? Everyone chuckles a bit, even Natsuki betraying a smile on her face. I'm sure that it's less work than it looks, so I think that's fine if some of us leave early. Hey Kazuma, how about you walk Natsuki home for a change? I'm sure that Sue is sick of your company by now. I'd see if Monika could let Natsuki off to look like that, and I'm such casual too. This way it doesn't look like she's babying her or anything. And no fair, I wanna go home too. Sue pretends to put a pout for a bit, but quickly gains a smile on her face. Come on guys, the faster we get to work, the faster we get to go home. After changing goodbyes, I'll walk out of the classroom with Natsuki. It's surreal to hear the sounds of chatter and laughter floating towards us from the rest of Testa after everything that just took place. A silence rolls between us. I'm not quite sure whether I should try to cheer her up or just leave her alone with her thoughts. I spot a vending machine at the end of the hall and decide on the former. Hey, do you want a smack? A little sugar always cheers me up when I feel down. Sure, I guess. What do you want? It doesn't really matter, but chocolate's pretty good. I approach the vending machine, digging change out of my pockets. Within a few moments, a solid funk sounds from the bottom of the machine. I hand to the bar of chocolate. Just pick one of my favorites, so I hope you have similar tastes. White chocolate. Not bad. Does it mean she likes it? Job, yeah. I watch as she carefully places the snack into her bag. You're not gonna eat it? My question seems to startle Natsuki and feel a little bad when she jumps a bit. I guess she's still feeling a little shaky. No, I kind of like to savor things on my own time. Not a bad idea. I tend to blow through snacks and stuff myself. I guess I like to try to make things last as long as possible. Oh, ich weiß glaube ich auch warum. That's pretty understandable. If that another silence follows of us, but this time it's a comfortable silence. Ich weiß warum sie das sprach. Das Dings, wer das Originalspiel kennt, weiß, dass Natsuki zumal im Zweitlauf wird aufgedeckt, dass die Natsuki von seinem Vater nicht gefüttert wird und deswegen auch jede Esszeit wirklich ausnutzt zu seinem vollsten halt. Und ich kann mir gut vorstellen, dass es ganz oft ist, dass Natsuki deswegen auch nicht warte, was wollte ich jetzt sagen? Und ganz oft halt Natsuki so Dings machen, nee, was muss ich jetzt sagen? Habe ich komplett meinen Satz verloren. Nee, perfekt. Halt. Und deswegen halt so aufpassen mit Essen halt. Und auch Dings, es gibt auch eine Theorie, dass Natsuki ist so klein, weil sie halt jetzt schon seit Jahren halt unterernährt sozusagen ist und nicht halt richtig ernährt wird. Deswegen ist sie wahrscheinlich schon nicht richtig in die Pubertät reingesprungen halt. Und ist noch sozusagen in dem die mehr jungen Alter halt noch, sozusagen, also was den Körper angeht. Weil eigentlich ist ja schon, ich glaube, das Spiel hat gesagt, ich glaube, sie sind alle offiziell 18, aber Netsuki wächst einfach nicht, weil sie einfach nicht gefüttert wird von seinem Vater. Das ist halt das Ding. Und deswegen kommt die Pubertät bei Netsuki später. Ich habe mal mitbekommen, es gibt halt Pubertäten, die werden erst später ausgelöst, weil man halt Mangel von Ressourcen hat, was ja auch Sinn macht. Ich meine, wenn man überlegt, wie viele Ressourcen reingehen in den Körper, damit man wechselt. Ich meine, was passiert alles in der Pubertät, ne? Wachstum, einfach Wachstum generell, einfach so einfach. Haare, so Behaarung, alles, das ist so viel halt einfach. Und ja. We walk together, side by side, in a bubble of companionship that seems to include just the two of us, and that makes the festival distant reality. It isn't until we reach the school entrance and they break the silence again. Okay, ich würde sagen auch, hier beenden wir die Folge. Ich glaube, hier ist noch gut Länge. Ja, doch. Also ja, dann hoffe ich, es hat euch gefallen. Das war für mich eine sehr interessante Folge. Ich habe nicht erwartet, dass so ein Streit eskaliert wieder. Aber zum Glück haben Monika und Netsuki sich ja verziehen. Ja, dann bin ich mal gespannt, was jetzt in der nächsten Folge passiert. Also, wir werden wahrscheinlich Netsuki nach Hause bringen, das ist mal sicher. Und vielleicht treffen wir auf seinen Vater. Wie ihren Vater. Wer weiß, das werden wir sehen. Aber ja. Dann danke fürs Zuschauen. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Bis dann beim nächsten Video. Tschö!